a thread by Rex at social.quodverum.com. The spectacular and deserved collapse of Fox is 100% deserved. And the ultimate example thus far of hashtag get woke, go broke. This should surprise no one. Lachlan Murdoch is yet another decadent, detached, rich boy with very little skill at business. His one-tell disaster in Australia years ago tells you everything you need to know. Quite simply, he's got no idea. Want to know how insane these rich kids are? Link to a Guardian piece. This fool, Lachlan Murdoch, will burn his father's business to the ground and then blame it on the customers. Much like Obama and Clinton, who have destroyed the Democratic Party and corrupt everything they touch, but who blame it on deplorables. These people truly believe that they are the most superior humans to have ever lived, moral and intellectual geniuses, even though everything they've achieved depends on other people's money and propaganda. Just like Obama, Lachlan Murdoch has never been punished for his failures. Quite the opposite. In their elite circles, these people are rewarded for failure. Look at this fawning piece on Lachlan Murdoch in a leftist fake news Australian rag. Lachlan speaks with an American accent, largely thanks to his many years of privileged schooling in Aspen and New York, finishing with his graduation from Princeton. Someone get me a bucket. Nauseating. Contrast failures such as Obama and the Murdochs with rich kids from very tough business sectors with better parents. Look at what they achieve. Jared Kushner, architect of the 2016 victory, and the Abraham Accords, just absolutely spectacular. BBC.com is Jared Kushner, etc., etc. Or for that matter, Eric or Don Jr. Look at their childhoods. Amazing privilege, yes, but no luxury for those kids. They spent much of their childhood with grandparents in the Czech Republic. Their grandmother made shoes. They had an incredible education, sure, but then, like all the Trump kids, they had to work with real people to learn humility, a tough upbringing. Not for me and you. In the coming days, we are going to witness the funeral pyre of Obama's Palace of Mirrors. This narcissistic gang have been trapped by much more intelligent, hardworking, and talented human beings. While the crooks were admiring themselves and each other, good but hard men and women in the real world saw the crooks' craven plans and worked out how to destroy them, which is what we are witnessing now. Anyone who thinks that Trump and his key people didn't have the measure of their enemies years ago has no idea how smart Trump and company are. Here is an example of the caliber of witnesses they've gathered via General Flynn since 2018 to destroy the Democrats. Colonel Waldron is stunning. Did you hear what Waldron said in Arizona? Listen from 6:30 to 7:40.
Flying helicopters, counter reconnaissance. Moved later into information warfare as a information operations officer, running psychological operations, computer network operations, deception, operation security, and electronic warfare, special electronic warfare. And our team has been researching this specific issue since August of this year. We are working with another team that's been intently working on this voting machine manipulation for about 2 years when it became apparent in the Ted Cruz and Beto race in 2018, as well as the Kentucky governor's race with Matt Bevins. We saw significant anomalies in those races, and that's kind of the experience or our background working with this system. And I would tell you, as an unconventional warfare information operations, information warfare specialist, the American populace is facing an unconventional warfare scenario, and this is information warfare.
Waldron's team started hacking into Dominion systems in August of 2020. Waldron says that his team has been working with another team who have been working on these machines for 2 years. He mentions Cruz versus Beto in 2018. Then listen to 1205 to 1328. Let's listen.
Our team is not the only team that's working on this. There are literally hundreds of other small cyber teams that have weighed in on this. There are tons of statisticians. You'll hear from some of your Arizona citizens today, but we've been working in several states looking at these anomalies. But it's not a secret. I mean, DEF CON last year, I think the hacking teams broke in and manipulated these machines in under 2 minutes. So it can be done. It's easy, and there's very little security. So they can be hacked to manipulate votes. One of our white hat hackers discovered a malware on the server. It's called the Q-Snatch, that basically records login credentials and passwords. So if someone in Philadelphia, or someone in Maricopa County, or someone in Antrim, Michigan logged in, that malware will grab their username and password. And so you can log in. If you got access to the backside of that malware, you can log in wherever you are in the world to Maricopa County to manipulate. So there's multiple
Colonel,
ways.
Just interrupt you a second.
Yes,
sir. So we get the point of this clear. You actually examined one of the machines, and you were actually able to see very, very clear changes in vote in the machine, correct?
Correct.
All right. Hundreds of small cyber teams, tons of statisticians, several states. They found Q-Snatch embedded into the system, allowing manipulation of the votes. Astonishing. Watch the entire thing. Incredible. Giuliani is superb, by the way. And folks, it confirms that Trump has these crooks by the cojones. With help from General Flynn's team, in my opinion, high-octane military intel spooks who roam in the netherworld of the dark web, and in this case, software rigged for dodgy elections. People who live in the real world. So Lachlan Murdoch, Obama, fake news, and the Democrats can go fuck themselves. They are all doomed. They can deny reality, but they've been caught. We get to watch Trump's plan for their fall. Count yourself fortunate to be here, awake at this specific moment in history. It means that, unlike the normies, you had the courage to think for yourself at some time in the past. And like rich people, like Kushner, you likely were brought up to live in the real world. Kudos to you. Enjoy the show.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.